Hello and welcome to the JRP episode 4. And today we're going to be talking to Dot5. He is a infamous player on Constantiam. He's played 2B2T for a short while. He's also the founder of Elite Tier. If you've watched any of his videos, I'm sure you would have seen Elite Tier in the title. So, hi Dot, and thanks very much for joining us.
Hi James, it's great to be here. Very honored.
Excellent. So we've just spoken about Elite Tier. People have probably seen it around. They might be wondering what it is. So to get started, do you want to explain what Elite Tier is?
Elite there is a friend group. Has it's not like your typical, I guess, PvP group or whatever. Doesn't have any rules. We don't have any guidelines that you have to play by. We don't. It's just a friend group who likes to play together under one name, and it doesn't really even have that many members. It has only like 6 members. Yeah, we're pretty good at PvP, I think.
Excellent. Yeah, most of the videos I've seen are kind of PvP and your battles on Constantium anyway, but we'll go into that a bit later. So who are these 6 members of the Elite Tier?
So in Elite Tier, we have myself, Dot5. We have the Big Bullets. We have Armine. We have Mario Bama Boy, so known as Handcrafted. We have Low Lost, and then we have Eclipsen, but Eclipsen has stopped playing and he lives in the real world now.
That doesn't sound as fun as PvP or Minecraft.
Oh yeah,
But
he's definitely having a bad time.
okay, so with Elite Tier, is this mostly on Constantium? Is it 2B2T? Is it other servers that you play on? Where does Elite Tier like to play?
Well, Elite started out on Constantium as kind of a Illuminati type group. It was
Okay.
just me and Lolast essentially inciting bases, blowing up bases, kind of trying to control everything, and we were really good at it. Nobody really even noticed it, and then I met Eclipsen on Constantium. We played there for a while with Eclipsen. We started playing on a kit PvP server that has anarchy PvP for a while. I think that was like half a year, and kind of expanded. We met Bullet and Our Mind and other people. Then we had a short break and played on 2B2T for a month. But after that, we kind of went and well, a guy called Lord Popcorn made his own Crystal PvP server, and ever since then we've been kind of active players on there and less active on Constantium. And nowadays we don't even play on Constantium at all. We play on CrystalPvp.cc. It's the best place to crystal PvP, and we don't really care about anarchy as a whole anymore. We just kind of want PvP.
Okay, nice. Yeah, there's not many servers that kind of focus just on PvP, so that's pretty good. And do you play it to kind of are you like training any clients to play? Is it just for fun? Yeah, what's going on there?
Well, I mean, we say that we play to have fun, but I think it's more that we play to win, and the winning is just fun. So I'd say a little we play to win. We play with I guess somewhat of an infamous client in the PvP circles called .god.cc. It's been in the works for a few years now, and I guess it's viewed as the best client for PvP. It's a private client. It's only for us, and we have high skilled people using it. So but yeah, we play to win. We don't practice PvP so much, so we it's our main server, so we play to win.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. With your time on Constantium, you said you spent a lot of time inciting bases and kind of griefing. Obviously, you're infamous, I think, on Constantium for someone who griefed a lot of bases. I think most of the bases some years were kind of found or incited by you and the members of your team. So, when did you join Constantium, and then how long has it been since you've played?
I think I joined Constantium. It was like January 2nd, 2017. It's when I started to play, and I at first I didn't really like it. It was kind of fucked, and I was there literally just to bully Ormonger. And see that spawn with like naked. But then a player called Sniping Nukes, he killed me a few times when I was naked. He called me a dumb newfag or something, and that somehow got really under my skin.
Oh,
Cause I knew Sniping wasn't that good at PvP, so and this was in 2017. I was already like on high horse at that point, so Yeah, sniping killed me a few times. Then I realized I fudged back in Jesus' place on Constantiam. He's a friend from an earlier server that I played on. So we kind of linked up. It took him a while. He was busy with school, so I grinded myself gear and crystals, and he invited me to his base. But I went back to spawn before I went to the base, and I found Sniping and Sir Leonidas, and they both ran from me at first. And then I started hollering in chat about it, and Sniping came back to take a 1v1 with me. He lost, and ever since then, I've just been sitting at Constantium spawner doing other bullshit on Constantium, and I think I kind of quit during 2020, early 2020. Yeah, ever since then I haven't really played. I think Constantium's kind of gotten too popular for me. I don't really like how many players there are.
Yeah, it's definitely gotten much more popular since those years. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I think in the last few months, it's gone from 20 players to 100. So it's definitely much more popular. Taking a look at the subreddit, for instance, there was a render that was put on there from May 2018. Would you say that's kind of the peak of when you were known on Constantium? Because I think looking at those renders, pretty much every lava cast at spawn has your name on it.
Oh yeah.
So that obviously took a long time. Kind of two questions. So, what was the idea of kind of your name on all the casts? Were you trying to take over spawn? And then, secondly, was it just you PvPing people? And had you already begun to inside bases by that time?
Well, the lava casting is that's just peak boredom, okay? So if you're sitting at Constantium spawn for 8 hours a day, and there's 10 people online, there's not much happening as you can imagine.
Hmm.
Like 2018 Constantium is not a lot of things happening. So I had a lot of obsidian, and I was like, you know what? I should write my name on things. And I started writing my name here and there, and then I just it just became a habit of doing something. Like I had something to do, so I wouldn't just sit AFK and watch YouTube videos next to another portal. So I went around, and I think Elytra was enabled then, so I would just fly with Elytra to a cast, do the name, and then fly away. I did a few of those names. I think some of them are still there because somebody lava casted over them, and that kind of preserves them from like withers and shit. So some of the names are still under there, but most of them are gone.
Interesting. So, if there's any archaeologists on the server, they can try and uncover some of the the dot signs at spawn, I guess. Okay, so was 2018 kind of the year that you also would inside bases and gain a name for yourself? Because you did become very popular very quickly on Constantium when this started to happen. I think there's also a story of you actually joining a base and them not believing it was you, or
Ah,
something like that. So yeah,
that
why
was
don't we why don't
2019.
we 2019? Okay, cool. Why don't we go into that whole history then of you insiding bases and just kind of griefing in general, I guess, because you were really a force to be reckoned with on Constantium.
Oh yeah, so I think what really sparked me for it, of course I had like blown up bases before 2018, but what really like made me like want to get in more about griefing and inciting and shit was a player by the name of Stone Crocodile. He was a Russian player. He played on an alt called Daycap, and I don't think I've ever hated a person as much as him on the server. He was truly autistic. It was fucking horrible. um he on his main he didn't talk in chat ever. Then he got this alt account for spawn called Daycap, and he like immediately started trash talking like everybody in the community. And like back then it was a small community, so everybody was like, who the fuck is this guy, why is he trash talking and shit. And I don't know, I don't remember the entire story of how I got really upset with him. But yeah, that he really got me upset. So I killed him a few times at spawn, and then I was like, okay, well, this guy clearly has a dupe stat. There's so much shit on him every time. There's no way he can grind like this much shit every time. A player by the name of Pistol Partners, he's kind of a spawn base, I guess. He got blown up, and I think it was blown up by Jetting, and Jetting posted a screenshot of it for me of the sign wall that they had. And I saw a strong stone crocodile at the base, and I was like, okay, so Pistol knows Stone Crocodile, but me and Pistol during that time we were like rivals. Essentially we would talk shit to each other and fucking yell at each other, and we would just not get along. So I made this bot called Constant Hebrew at my lag machine base, and I told Pistol that I wanted to make the Constant Hebrew bot say a bunch of like Jewish propaganda in the chat, but I didn't know any. Of course, I could have just Googled it, you know. But I told Pistol that I didn't know any. I needed help with it, and I told him like really pull the strings. Like, yeah, I think you're a smart guy, so you would know about like Jews and shit, you know. So like, can you tell me something about it? Like, what would you spam in the chat, okay?
Hmm.
And so that's how I kind of befriended him slowly, and then I started introducing him the idea of him making a base with a stone crocodile, me raiding that base, and then Pistol using that base as a leverage to be like, "Hey, can I get to Stone Crocodile's main base? Can I come to your main base? Like, I don't have a home now." Like, really use that base. So at first, Pistol didn't like it. I kind of talked him into it. I was like, "I'm gonna give you gear. I'm gonna give you this," and during that time also the chunk tracing mod I kind of made that public. So what essentially was just a big ass lie to cover the entire Constantium community with this fear that, oh my god, there's this mod that you can use to check fucking trace people in the nether, and that was just to fearmonger people, especially Stone Crocodile. So I told him about the mod. Everybody knew about the mod. Everybody's kind of spooked about the mod. And I told Pistol he can get the mod if he gets me those main base coordinates. But he has to give me the coordinates first. Then I'll give him the mod. And well, yeah. Then he made another base with Stone Crocodile. I kind of let it sit for a few weeks. Then I just one day I was like, okay, I think it's time. And Pistol gave me the coordinates to that base. I went there. I blew it up with jetting, I think. That was a fun raid, yeah. And after that, I think it took a few days of like really talking to Pistol, and then Pistol started really talking to Stone Crocodile. And this is where me and Pistol's stories differs. Pistol will always claim that he was the mastermind in all this, but really wasn't. He was kind of being used by me. So he told Stone Crocodile that Stone Crocodile could get the chunk tracing mod if he lets Pistol into the base. So they both have something. Like if Pistol leaks the base, then fucking Stone is gonna leak the mod. So there was kind of leverage there, and then Stone Crocodile gave Pistol the coordinates eventually. Pistol told me he's not gonna give me the coordinates unless I give him the mod. So I renamed a backdoor for Shax to chunk tracing mod, sent it to him. He didn't even download it when he sent me the coordinates. So he sent me the coordinates. Then I assembled a team. It was me, Sniping, Jetting, Vert, and Varga girl was supposed to come as well, but she didn't show up. So yeah, we went to the base. I dug the tunnels to the base. It was like fucking 900k off the axis. That took a while. Yeah, we made a temp base on the way. I think it's still there. It has some funny shit in it. A lot of dick statues, I think. But yeah, we went there, we blew the base up, and mid raid, Stone Crocodile joins the game, and he did not like what he saw. He instantly logged out and started raging at Pistol, and Pistol was telling him he didn't do shit, and yeah, they kind of fell out at that point. But that feeling of being at the dude's base who I really hated, and he just logged in. We also bet trapped his main and told him we blew up his tube stats, even though we didn't know where the fuck his tube stats even was. So yeah, it felt really great, and then that's when I really started to think about, okay, I want to raid people more. I want to do this more, but I knew that at that point my like reputation on the server with the small community, nobody would invite me to a base. Nobody would like tell me to join a base. So I really started using like other people to do it for me. Other people like Fudge, Great Basemate, my best friend. Yeah, he got me the Courts of Columbia, and that's a fucking hilarious story actually. Then I used low lost, of course, to get a lot of base information, and he incited a lot of groups for me. But yeah, it was really that Stone Crocodile shit. After that, Daycap came to spawn. He wanted to PvP me super bad. He wanted to fucking rage at me and kill me. I killed him, and I don't know how I made it happen, but I found him naked, and I put a bed down and he slept in the bed. And then I was like, okay, let's go get you some wood so you can make a nether portal and shit and fucking go off spawn, go on your way. I don't care about you anymore. So me and him, we go from the bed away, and I log in my other account to bed trap the bed, and then I just kill out of him, and then yeah. So essentially, both of his accounts were bed trapped, and he was eternally fucked. He did buy a new account after that to play on Constantium, and Pistol told him that he knows my base coordinates. Stone Crocodile, of course, believed him. So I went to a base that I knew of. I think it was made by Three Sticks and Redstone Engineer, I think.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I knew of that base. It was kind of close to spawn. It was only like 100k out. But yeah, I told Pistol to give these coordinates to Stone Crocodile, and I went to the base beforehand to the portal. I trapped the portal and I sat there with Crystals for like 7 hours. Would you know it? Fucking Daycap fucking with his third account comes through and I crystal him to shit, dude. And after that case, I don't think I've seen him a single time.
I
He
think,
kind of he kind of disappeared after that.
yeah, I think that's probably one of my favorite stories actually. I've ever heard from you
Oh
on
no, no, no,
on Constantium. Was that not when he was away for like hours?
no, 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 that was a different case. He had combat locked on me, and
Okay, so you really hated this guy, man.
oh
I,
yeah,
I I
he
thought that was the only story, but yeah, no, go ahead.
no, no, he combat locked on me, and it was a Sunday, and I didn't have work for like 3 days. I had I had like a lot of school shit to do, so I was gonna pull a all nighter anyway. So he logged on me. So he went to bed, woke up in the morning, went to school, came back, logged in. I was still there waiting for him with fucking Crystal around, just sitting there. And the feeling he got when he logged back in, dude, I can only imagine it, dude. Probably felt like a fucking. No way has this guy sat here for like fucking 20 hours just waiting for me to log back in. It was a
Yeah.
golden moment.
That's excellent. Yeah, that's one of the pinned messages in the in the Constantium Discord. Just because it was
Uh,
so funny that like you waited like 16 hours or whatever the hell it was for this guy to go to sleep, go to school, come home, and
oh
then log
yeah,
back in. No, that's brilliant. And obviously, like with these stories that you've been saying, there's a lot of 4D chess going on. Using one or two people to kind of inside bases, so you can
yeah,
make moves on the outside to gain access to the base. Just to go back, so this mod that you invented as an excuse as to how you got this guy's chords, you said it was the tracing mod. So
yeah,
this was essentially you telling him that you could follow the core, the you could follow the chunks that they had loaded,
yeah, yeah.
and then it turns out that like within a year, it actually was a thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think Ox heard about the mod and he put it into Future Gold. It was a different future version. He put it in there, and I'm not like really saying this like as 100% confident, but
Hmm.
there's the possibility that I made the chunk tracing thing happen by just like bullshitting in Constantium chat, just to make people be afraid, and that was also leverage for Pistol to I told him, you don't have to leak the coordinates. I can just go and follow him. Just gonna take longer. It's gonna take longer. So you don't have to give me the coordinates. I can just go and find it myself, but it would make my life a lot easier if you just gave me the coordinates. And that made like the entire story seem like more full to Pistol, so he could bullshit Stone Crocodile more to give the codes to me, to give the codes to Pistol, to give the codes to me of
So
like telling
yeah.
Pistol that I don't need him. Like you're not a
Mm.
essential part. So he couldn't like have tabs on me essentially. Where I wasn't relying on him. At least that's what he thought. He thought that I wasn't relying on him. Essentially I was, just relying on him, hoping that he would buy the bait.
Brilliant. So baiting someone to bait someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant, and it kind of goes in hand with what Sniper Nukes was saying in episode 2 of the podcast with the whole Riddler games, where he would bait people and he would like create a whole new map from scratch just to give someone like the wrong chords and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of this stuff that kind of goes on Anarchy, and I think it's a really great part of it. Like you said as well, arguing with other players, it's basically a pastime
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
Constantium, 2B2T, any kind of anarchy server. Yeah, so that's absolutely hilarious. So thank you for that story. What other kind of events have you been part of on Constantium? Let's stick with Constantium for now, and then we'll kind of move on to other servers. So yeah, what kind of events, or have you been part of any bases like actually building and stuff like that on Constantium?
Oh yeah. I've been basing with Fudgeback and Jesus ever since I started.
Okay.
Him, Fred, Sabretooth, um, Lax dude. He's also there. He doesn't play anymore, sadly. But yeah, I've been basing with those guys. Oh, and Kim. We've been basing together since I played Constantium. Yeah, awesome group of guys. We made Elysium. That was a great base that we made together with Heartstoner, but Heartstoner had a mental breakdown and he decided to leave the base. And
Okay.
then through a friend called It's Young Daddy, he's a meth head, who's friends with fucking Heartstoner. We made It's Young Daddy think that or we made Hearthstoner think that its young daddy also disliked us. So they started talking, and then Hearthstoner said that he's gonna come back and blow the base up, and we were like, okay, well, fuck this guy. We're just gonna blow the base up. So we blew the base up. We took a few world downloads before. D Monkey has a video about the base on his channel, and we moved to a new base called Nia Archie. I think that's like Greek for like new beginning or something. That base has been standing for like what, like 3 years now, and yeah, it's a really great base. But a lot of people don't know this, but I actually do enjoy like building there with my guys. But everybody has busy lives. Um, I like to PvP more than I like to build. I like to help Fudge whenever he makes things, but yeah, I think our base is the only base that has like perimeters. I don't know of any other base that has perimeters. We have like 6 perimeters, and none of them are like, all of them are empty. There's no farms in any of them. So we were like, we're gonna first make the perimeters, then we're gonna make the farms. But we made the perimeters, and now we don't have any farms in them. We're just kind of lazy with it.
Okay, is that because it just took so long to make the perimeters?
Oh yeah, that was a fucking painful process. At first, we made the world eaters, and we made them the wrong way around.
Right.
They were made to north to south, I think, and we made it west to east. So then we tore the fucking entire thing down. It was 300 blocks wide. We tore the fucking thing down and we rebuilt it. And then we launched it, and not every fucking, because of speaker deleting some of the TNT because there's too much TNT falling down. Like half of it didn't even work, so we had to do like, 1/3, then fucking, 1/3 at a time. That was fucking painful, but then we did the other perimeters without a hitch essentially. But it does take a long time. You need to dig out the borders for it. I think Fudge has like fucking on his diamond pickaxe in the statistics, he has like 3 million uses. I have like 1.5 million uses. So yeah, we really dug a fuck ton of stone there.
Damn. Yeah, that definitely sounds like it. So on your kind of your travels on Constantium, you were part of the base. Did you ever take part in any of the I guess you could say the role playing side of it with like the Riddler games or I believe there's been weddings on the server
Oh yeah, yeah.
and things like that. Were you part of any of those events?
Well, let's start with the wedding. I think that was like first. Yeah. I got information about the wedding, and everybody told me there was gonna be a lot of players there. And of course, I was like super bloodthirsty at the time because nobody really knew me. I was like I was a new fag essentially. So I was like, okay, dude, time to go there and fucking kick the shit out of everybody there. And then Fudge sent me a PM like, "Are you going to the wedding?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go there and kill everybody, like literally everybody. I'm just gonna wipe everyone out." And he said like, "No, no, no, don't go. Just fucking let them roleplay." And I was like, "Dude, what the fuck?" And he was like, "Yeah, yeah," but I'm like, he just didn't want me to go. And like looking back at it, it was a great thing that I didn't go because then I wouldn't have gotten like great friends from the community. Everybody would have viewed me as just a spawn player, and that would have
Hmm.
hindered a lot of things. But yeah, I didn't go to the wedding at all. Fucking, I wanted to PvP everybody, but nah. And then the Riddler games, yeah, I participated in. I think the two of them. The first one that happened, I was traveling at the time, so I couldn't do anything. The second one, infamously, in my opinion, is like the only time I really lost on the server and like really fucking took a fucking hardcore lose. I won two of the prize or two of the first ones. Then I was Astroki. No, it was Sniping and then Astroki. And Sniping famously didn't put the final map back in. Me and Astroki blind trusted Sniping. We put the 3 maps on the fucking wall. Sniping took a screenshot of it, and he pearled away. But I almost killed him as well. It was close. The pearl landed like fucking one tick early. If that pearl didn't land the fucking one tick behind, dude, he would have been dead there, and I would have picked up the map anyway. And they would have had a fucking scramble hardcore. But
So the history could have changed if it
oh
just
yeah, oh
if you
yeah.
threw it just a little bit higher.
That really bothered me that I didn't get the win from that. Not that I cared about the fucking enchanted golden gear. It wasn't about like the prize, it was about the winning. So yeah, I kind of took part in that. And in 2019, of course, the Riddler games as well. That I found the first prize, and then I don't remember who found the other prizes, but there was that one I lost as well. But I claim bullshit. Those Riddlers were fucking impossible, dude. They were fucking Leo had to do like 700 clues to fucking get that. It was like a hill Leo sees from a birch tree. What do you have to do? You had to take the capital letters, turn them upside down, put them in a calculator, and that's where you got the fucking chords. I'm like, dude, what the? That makes no sense. A hill Leo sees from a birch tree. You know what would make sense? 2K, 2K. You know the big lava caster? It's in a
Hmm,
burst
hmm.
forest, dude. I was like immediately, like, oh, dude, it's in the fucking 2K, 2K fucking. It's on top of the lava cast, dude. Of
Yeah,
course, because it's a burst forest. It's a fucking big ass hill, a mountain lava cast. Of course, it's there. We go there, nothing, and then it's like a fucking calculator. Me, dude. Me and Eclipsen, we fucking laughed so hard at that shit when we were doing those fucking. But I was also like super drunk back then, so I don't really remember a lot of that. But we did lose it. I tried to do like a final play of telling Naira who was going to pick up the prize that no, I'm already here. Like we took the prize, we were waiting for you, but they didn't believe me. Sadly, I was actually just sitting at spawn doing nothing. But yeah, I guess
brilliant. No,
I
yeah.
I, I guess the role play events go. Me and MCG organize Unity too. I guess a lot of people say that that's like one of the best events had yet. I don't think the other Unities. I think they're like fake bullshit. I don't believe in them. But Unity 2, that was a really good place of Constantium. We had like it was kind of funny. We had like 25 players, and we thought that was like way too much. We're like, oh, no way these new facts can come in here with these numbers, 25 people, right? No
Hmm.
way there can be this many players on the server. So Unity 2 happened. That was really fun. I guess for a lot of people, it wasn't fun for me and Fudge because we were building the fucking cathedral, and I remember really distinctly. Everybody was offline, and a lot of new kids would just like come and steal shit from the Unity 2 base because it was close to spawn on the diagonal. So I just remember sitting there for like 6 hours in the middle of the fucking night, just waiting for people to log in so I can go back to fucking bed. I don't have to sit there and guard the fucking base. Yeah, I was sitting there for a while, and then Lax dude logged in. I was like, dude, just fucking guard the base. I'm gonna go to fucking bed, dude. I think I fell asleep on the keyboard. And I didn't even fucking leave my chair. But yeah, Unity 2, that was a fun time. We
Hmm.
burned a lot of forest. We upkept the lava wall. That was really fun. Yeah, Unity 2, really really a highlight, I guess. It's like everybody in the community kind of just went together. Like even you and Drew Bookman were in the same like thing. And that
Yeah,
was like
yeah.
fucking blowing my mind. I was like, wow. There was some drama. I think Drew Bookman and Jetting killed somebody. I think it was a Duke is the man. They didn't know that he was in there. It kind of sparked this fight, and I was so close there of just like killing like fucking Duke is the man, Drew Bookman and Jetting, but I made them talk it out. But yeah, I think at that point I really realized that people didn't know like that I was good at PvP, so I could really like organize events well. Because if somebody else organized something, anybody just could go and fucking screw it up. But with me, there was like a risk of like, okay, if you screw this up, then that is gonna sit at your logout spot for like 18 hours. You really
Yeah,
wanna fuck with this guy and shit like that. So it all went well, I guess, because there was a threat of escalation there always.
yeah. It's
But yeah,
the implication.
yeah, it's the implication of if there's shit going on.
Oh,
But that was
excellent.
a
Yeah,
highlight.
yeah. No, that was a great time. Unity 2, because it was kind of on the diagonal northeast.
Yeah,
It basically is spawn. I mean, it was within like 1K or something like that.
there's a bit over
Um,
1K.
yeah, and I do remember it was basically just you and Fudge building the cathedral, and there was like
Yeah.
20 people there, and just no one, hardly anyone really helped you at all. That was kind of funny. And yeah, it was a place. Every now and then there's events on servers that allow people to come together that don't usually come together and things like that. So yeah, no, that was quite nice. This is kind of some of the stories on Constantium. You mentioned kind of before we got started that you have played 2B2T for a little while.
Oh yeah.
So how long did you play 2B2T? And although it wasn't for very long, what were some of the things that you managed to get accomplished on 2B2T? Because I think you did make quite an impact on the server,
Oh
even
yeah.
though
Yeah.
you didn't play for very long. And probably not many people even know this.
Yeah, so we got during the eighth incursion, it was the incursion that Jared was hosting, a group called Highland, which we were pretty close with because Bullet was in Highland and like that. So Highlands leader Lotus wanted PvPers for the 8th incursion because there was a lot of people who didn't like the 8th incursion due to Jared being there and everything. So Lotus talked to Bullet, and Bullet was like, "Well, I know these elite tier guys." Well, I don't know if Bullet was even in elite tier during that time. I think we took him in during that time, but yeah. And it essentially boiled down to Lotus paying us to play on 2b2 TP or 2b2 T just to PvP. And we got in contact with Jared. He was like, "Yeah, come in." Jared knew already about us. He was playing on Constantiam in 2019, and we PvP'd him a lot actually. And he knew that we were really good at PvP, so he was like, "Yeah, you guys are gonna be a huge help." So yeah, we went to 2b2t, and we had a ace up our sleeve. It was out to 32k. Nobody had seen it before. Everybody, like, the biggest play at that time was using macros to 32k. Just like you have a macro that presses like the buttons in a specific order so that you don't have to do it yourself. Eclipsen was like, That's fucking stupid. You know, you can make a fucking, a mod for this shit." So he implemented it in Dot5. It actually, he made it like months before we even went on to be or knew about like really 32ks. He was like 32k PvP is essentially put the hopper, you put the shulker, you put a block above the shulker, and then you open the hopper and pull a 32k out from the hopper. He was like, "That's like mad fucking simple to like put in Java, just like place, and then open." So yeah, he made that. We went to 2B, and during that time there was the offhand exploit where you switched items from offhand to main hand on both hands at the same time, and that caused, first of all, a hardcore sound. So if you didn't have the sound off, your game would crash, and if you had the sound on, or fucking if you had the sound off, you would still be kicked. I don't know the reason why it kicks you and not the person doing it, but I don't know. I'm not a Java genius, um so yeah, that was around. So at spawn there was a few kids. It was Victis and then Squid Launcher who were at spawn at the time, and they were really notorious. They were like these two fucking squeakers sitting at spawn doing the fucking lag thing to anybody who came close. So essentially PvP was dead. You couldn't do anything about it. But we went to spawn. We kind of PvP'd for a while, and people were already like, because we also had auto trap at that point. So what we would do is auto trap. They couldn't move, press one button, and they die. So yeah, that was I guess that was really the start of it. And we were kind of trying to hide it as long as possible, like convincing people, "No, we're just macroing. It's a really fast macro, even though it's like obvious. Like, I'm not even looking at where I'm placing. Just like hide it so that people don't copy it." Because we knew with active feed place, which is another module that we made, with automatically places obsidian around your feet. Um, we knew with that people would copy it within weeks. So we wanted to have the advantage of people not thinking about it for like as long as possible. So we really started to use it, and at first it was kind of slow. We were kind of getting used to it, but I think it was like the first after the first week we really got it down, and we started like we had this kind of infamous 2v2 with Victisen and Squid versus me and Eclipse. We kicked their shit in, and after that point, they kind of started dick sucking us and fucking sitting in our VC waiting for us to drag them in and shit like that. But yeah, we really had an impact. I think on the 2b2t ladder.com, which tracks player kills, I'm still the number 30th or 26th in kills. I have like 100 KD. I have like 1.4 thousand kills on 2B, and I played for only a month. But yeah, out of 32k definitely had a impact on 2B2 team meta after that, dude. And it really was like started to make it like it started the trend of people making clients that automate PvP functions for you. But at that point there wasn't much things to automate anymore. We had auto plays, we had active feed plays, we had auto trap, and now we had auto 32k. So yeah, but it also didn't help the situation that we were like ridiculously good at PvP. So we knew what we were doing. We would like bait movement out and then tap the button and run at them, and they would fucking die instantly. Yeah, we really changed the 2B meta at that point of like, we're 32k and worked how you would crystal people until you got them to sit in a hole, and you would trap them manually, and then you would place the hopper, place the fucking shulker box, open the hopper, wait for the 32k to come out, That also took a while because you had to have the hopper open. If you open the hopper and there's a 32k in it, it would revert to 32k. But if you open the hopper and the 32k goes in it, then it's a fresh 32k and it works. With the macros, you would have the first 32k. That would never work because it would be a sharpness 5. But with the auto 32k, you would open the hopper so fast that the hopper would be empty so that you could get the first one. So you always had the advantage of having the first 32k in your hand. And yeah, it was a really fun time actually to play on 2B. Just simply due to the fact that how hard we dominated people there, and it really got picked up the moment like the 8 incursion stopped and we stopped playing. And then like a few days later, WWE was the first client to have the auto 32k in. So we kind of like saved ourselves from like we did really unfair PvP. We essentially just cheated a fuck ton.
That's crazy though, because you essentially so the modules that you wrote and the way that you were using PvP on 2B2T, that sounds like it was the first time that ever happened.
Oh
Kind
yeah.
of the way that you manipulated the 32Ks, it sounds like it was really that point that changed the whole
Yeah,
era
yeah.
of PvP on 2B2T, just in kind of those changes that you made.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I mean, Elite Tier has had a pretty big impact on PvP. A lot of people deny it still, but it is obvious. We made so many modules that automate functions that are useful, like active feet place, which places uh obsidian around your feet so you don't take damage. And we were really early on with that shit. Um, and it truly we did it not because we couldn't perform without it, but because we were playing on a US hosted server and we were EU players, me and Eclipsen, he's Russian, so we had really bad ping. And we had really bad ping, so we couldn't place and break as fast as the US players. So we had to like get a way to outbrain it, you know. So we started doing armor play, and as well like the PvP meta of you don't carry a single set except the one you have on you, and then all your armor is in XP. That was like started by me and Eclipse, and a lot of these things are just started by me and Eclipse, and people just picking them up. So we were really highly competitive, and I'd say that that's why Eclipsen is, in my opinion, at least the greatest PvP of all time because he played for about a year, under a year. He played for 9 months, and he picked up everything that I taught to him in like a week. I remember PvPing him on Constantiam, fucking him up, and the next time he came back, he was like clearly improved. Then I fucked him up again, and then he came back for the third time. I was like, dude, you're just improving all the time. Like, you know, why don't we be friends? We could like do shit together. It's like, yeah, okay, whatever. So we became like super good friends, and I first I took him under my wing of like showing him how PvP works, and then by like in like 3 months in, I think I felt like I was under his wing at that point because the dude was just so smart with how he thought about PvP, and we shared a lot of similarities. We had the same interest. We played the same video games in the past. We played a CS:GO HVH. There's a lot of inspiration comes from the modules from CS:GO hack versus hack gameplay that we both did for years. Um, yeah, but that's why I think Eclipsen is the greatest PvP of all time because he picked up the things that it takes normal PvPers like months to learn something that Eclipsen learned in like 10 minutes of just like looking at me do it. And it's like, oh, I know what you're doing here, and then he would do it. So in my opinion, he's the greatest PvPer of all time, without a doubt. At least in my opinion, a lot of people will say, oh no, this guy, but I think Eclipsen was so ahead of his time that even though he hasn't played in like fucking 3 months, he would still be super competitive now. He's smart the way he plays, and I really appreciate quality in PvP when somebody has that quality of like doing these things that are small things, but you know, I really appreciate the PvP quality that the guy had. But yeah,
Yeah, I suppose it's all, it's in the technique, it's the consistency of it and just always improving as well that makes a big difference.
oh
And
yeah,
kind of it gets you noticed. And I mean, it's kind of something that you've proved, spending, a month on 2B2T and still being on the leaderboard for, kills and PvP. It's not something that I think hardly, anyone can really say.
yeah,
As well as in that time completely changing the way that 2B2T PvP work, 32Ks and all of that. So yeah, that's absolutely wild. So did you take any of that experience into your Crystal PvP server? And what's kind of the deal behind that Crystal PvP server? Is it something that you help run, or is it somewhere that you just play on for fun?
A lot of people don't know this, but I'm just friends with Lord Popcorn. I don't have admin, I don't have moderator, I don't have anything on the server. I don't. The only thing that I've seen from the server is the fucking timings website for it to see what causes lag, and also the panel that Popcorn sometimes shows me to show like the NCP config, for example. But yeah, Bullet, who's in Elite there, he's a I'd say well, he's like one of the owners essentially. Popcorn pays for the server. Popcorn makes a lot of the plugins for the server, but Bullet makes like the anti-cheat config. Bullet makes like these config things, and I'm just observing that. I don't help to run it essentially. Popcorn usually comes to me or Elite Tier for he has questions or ideas about PvP or the server, and we usually tell him no or yes to these things. But Popcorn values our opinion the most because he knows that I've been PvPing for 4 years now, so he values what we have to say because we have the experience, and we truly just want the best for the server. We don't really care about our own advantage. There's a lot of bullshit these fan kids fucking claim like all the time that Dot5 cheats, Dot5 does this, Dot5 does that.
Yeah.
And that is why I never wanted admin. I never wanted moderator. Popcorn offered it to me when the server started. I was like, no, I don't want it because I don't want people to claim that I cheat. It's like it happens still. Like I don't have OP, but people claim that I give myself items mid PvP. People claim that I fucking bypass the anti-cheat. People claim all this bullshit, but for me it's just more of a it's just like appraisal for me. It makes me feel good about like I'm performing so well now that there's no other people think that there's no way this guy can be legit, there's no way this guy can play this well without cheating in the server. And a lot of these cheating claims actually were started by me when we were playing on that US hosted server by Imperium.
Okay.
They were hosting that server, and what me and Eclipsen figured out first of all was a lot of the admins were playing in operator status. That might not sound like a lot, maybe to you, but in PvP, bypassing the anti-cheat is something that you wanna do a lot. You want to never lag back. You want never to be flagged for anything because that can stop you mid track of like movement or whatnot. A lot of the a lot of the moderators in that server played in slash op, and that means that they bypass the anti-cheat. No cheat doesn't flag them. It doesn't flag them at all. They could literally go in creative fly, like
Yeah.
in survival, and it wouldn't do shit to them. And we figured that out. And a lot of them play with too many items mod. You know the mod that has when you open inventory, it has all the items on the right side. A lot of them, for some reason, play with that mod. It was really interesting when you're playing in operator status and you have that mod there, really interesting, but we never really got any conclusive evidence of them spawning in items, except in a tournament once. I'm gonna tell that story later. But yeah, they cheated a lot in PvP, and we started claiming it. Of course, we started exposing them a lot, and they didn't like it at all. I've been banned from that server so many times just for the accusation of them cheating, and they never proved that they don't cheat. They don't have any kind of system where you can see who's opt, you can see who has permissions. They also have role in no cheat plus, which essentially means that the owner of the server John can give out people roles so that they bypass the anti cheat. We call it NCP bypass.
Yeah.
But yeah, CPVP, we have commands to check what permissions players have. We have if you're in OP, you cannot attack any entity. Your name is always going to be read in chat. If somebody's opt, then it says a public chat message. If items are being given to anything, if somebody's using creative mode and giving themselves items, it shows in the chat. We've done everything we possibly can to make sure that we're like transparent. We're gonna soon make it so that you can see the server console on the website because the server is hosted on a reverse proxy, so you cannot see anybody's IP from the console. So we were
Right.
like, okay, we can just literally blast the console on the fucking website and then just make sure that either just completely delete PMs or um, make PM scrambled so that it doesn't show PMs. But yeah, we were like really thinking of like transparency, and the Imperium server, they do none of that. They do none of it, and there's a reason why they don't do any of it because they cheat. The admins cheat, and the funny thing is, like in 2019 summer when we used to play there because we didn't have any other option of playing anywhere else. it was a US host server, but we were already like 200 ms behind everybody else, and then we were playing against admins that were cheating, and we were still beating them. There's a funny story about a tournament that they hosted where me and Eclipsen came in second place. The final was against the two admins who were hosting the tournament, ironically, and both of them ran out of totems mid fight. Like their auto totem wouldn't put a totem back in, then they would stop for 10 seconds and then they would have another totem. And they were playing in slash op and they were using on ground speed, and the arena wasn't a normal bedrock arena. It's super flat with just a few holes here and there. It's like super weird. I don't know why the fuck they took that. Looking back at it, they took it so that they could on ground speed, because we couldn't on ground speed because we had higher ping and the anti-cheer would flag us, so it didn't work for us. But for them, they had 20 ms and up, so they didn't get flagged for it. So every time you would get them low in health, they would just like zoom away from you. It was really and at that time we didn't really realize the fact that how badly they were cheating. But yeah, we lost that. That really got under our fucking skin. But we were like, okay, fair play, we lost, whatever. And then later, we of course you had like I guess whistleblowers or whatever, previous admins on 2B PvP who later confirmed all of this, saying that there's NCP bypass. These people most of the time took IPs. Well, nowadays it's hosted, 2B PvP is hosted on a reverse proxy as well. But I'm still confident that they took a lot of IPs. They had that slash scene command with where you can see a player's username and then their IP, and they did a lot of fucking shady shit back then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's always a worrying thing when you can't trust the admins of a server, because there's so
Oh
much
yeah.
that they can obviously see in the console, like like you said, PMs, IP addresses, and stuff like that. It's just how Minecraft works. Whether they want that information or not, it's going to be there in the server
Yeah.
log
Yeah.
files, right? So you want to make sure that there's someone who, knows what they're doing, so the information isn't leaked, and they're also not using it in a malicious way.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's it's good that you'll with your Crystal PvP server, that you kind of know that that thing is under control, and
Yeah.
even if people do think you're the admin, because you know what you're talking about, I understand what you mean
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
that.
Of course.
When you know what you're talking about and you're knowledgeable on something,
Yeah. Yeah.
those things that people are going to start saying those things.
We try to be like as transparent as possible. I'm like giving popcorn's ideas. Like you
Mm.
can blast the console here. You can put like all these things in so that the players who play on there can be sure when they're playing against I guess a lot of like me, for example, or anybody in elite tier who's like, I'd say like everybody in elite tier are extremely skilled individual performers and even better in a group. Yeah, so when they're PvPing anyone, they can be sure that there's no foul play going on, because it's gotten to the point where the skill difference is so big that they just think that it's always foul play. You know, there was a case where a lot of these fan kids started saying like, "Oh, we have evidence of Dot5 giving himself items," and it's this clip where I'm in a trap and they're face placing me, so placing crystals at my face to damage my armor, and
Hmm.
my helmet is at like 1% left. So in the recording, or like in their view, I lose the helmet, and then I start packet flying into the blocks. Then I go a bit down and start moving, and I take off all of my armor and put a new helmet back that I repair, and then put on my armor. And they thought that that was me slash giving myself items, but later shown from console evidence that I never had even op, so I can't give myself items. And I explained them what I did. I took the helmet off before it broke. I just took it off. It's not the end of
Yeah.
the world. I took the helmet off. I packet flew. I put the helmet back on and fucking repaired it. You can do that. It's not fucking prohibited.
Mm.
You can take helmets off. And the ironic thing is that I learned that from a kid that's their friend. Like I learned it from them, and then they
Yeah.
start claiming that I'm cheating when I used it. But yeah, there's a lot of bullshit claiming, and for me, it's just more of appraisal of like saying like it's like the ultimate compliment. It's like you're so good, you must be cheating.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Yeah, if people are having to jump to the conclusion that, oh, you must have some unfair advantage,
Yeah,
just because you're beating them, and there's no way they could possibly lose.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, no, that's wild. Yeah, these stories have been absolutely great. It's revealed a lot of stuff about how 2B2T has been changed by some of the things that you've done. You've laid a lot of rumors to rest, kind of your history on Constantium. Because a lot of the players are new to Anarchy, maybe Constantium or 2B2T, what message would you give to them, to the new players that are thinking about joining the server, or they've just joined the server, whether it be Constantium or 2B2T or any Anarchy server out there? What kind of message would you want to give them that maybe you would have given yourself 3 years ago?
If you're under the age of 18, you shouldn't play at all. I don't think that's a good idea at all. I've seen so many people get doxxed who were like 17, 16, 15, 14. If you think that you're somehow smarter than a lot of people, then you're always going to be wrong. And just I suggest a command called slash toggle chat. It's a really great command because like if you look at like most of the things I've done and the people who I disliked and rated, like silver day cap, whoever, these are people who were just talking in chat, and that's where it all starts. It never starts from like an in-game thing usually. It's all like talking, you know. So if you really just want to be safe, don't talk in chat. Don't fucking interact with people. Like if you just want to fucking play the server, then don't interact with people. Do what you want to do, but don't interact with them. Because the moment you start interacting with them, you're gonna get into troubles. You're gonna talking shit, and like then you're gonna have something to uphold and like all this bullshit, you know. So if you truly want to play Constantium, don't talk in chat. Don't interact with people. If you have a group of friends, don't tell them anything about yourself unless you like 100% know something about them as well, you know. Don't like bullshit fucking don't bullshit for no reason. Essentially, don't, like, a lot of people are just, no, I'm just shit posting in chat all day. I mean, yeah, but you're gonna fucking get raided because some dude took it too hard, dude, and now you fucking have this autistic guy who's coming after you every fucking day of the week, you know, for your
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
shit posting. You might not think that is much, but he's there always fucking looking for a way to fuck you over. So yeah, so if you want to play Constantium, especially as a Care Bear, so a Care Bear is a person who doesn't PvP, who only builds bases. Don't interact with people. Just build your base. If you get raided, don't give a reaction. Leave, go to a new one. Because the moment you start talking anywhere, then that's the moment you'll like become a target. Especially if you have like a big mouth like me, you'll get into trouble pretty fast. So it's like don't talk to people. I think that's like ironically the best thing to do on an anarchy
Mm.
server is not to talk with anybody.
Yeah, that's wise advice. It makes a lot of sense. If you talk smack in chat, then you're probably going to get it back. And at worst, like you said, you could have someone that decides to come after you and hang around
Yeah,
at your logout spot for 16 hours until
I
you finish
mean,
with school.
look at like Madame Giggles, like the nicest person you'll ever meet. People hate her because she talks in chat. If she never talked in chat anywhere, nobody would like care, you know? Same with Ormonger. No, it's like the guy essentially just like is anti-racist, anti-bigot, whatever he is. But the thing is, he talks in chat, dude, and that's why people fuck with him because he talks in chat, dude. Like, I'm telling you guys, the first issue with everybody is that they talk in chat, dude. That's like the biggest crime that you can do
Mm.
because that's when people are going, no, 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 that's wrong, that's wrong. Let me tell you what's correct, and then that's an argument, okay? And let's say that you make a super good point and they get upset about the argument, so now they fucking hate you, okay? And now their friend fucking knows who you are, and then you get doxxed, and then their friends bases with you. You know, oh, now he's at your base, dude, and now you fucking lost everything you did just because you had an argument fucking in the chat, you know?
Yeah, like yeah, I see what you mean. Whether you're nice or not, I think it's more if you try and argue with people, especially like you said, if you're against the things that make anarchy servers infamous for, then you're probably not going to have a good time either.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of like walking into a steakhouse and screaming at people for not being vegan. They're not gonna. They're just gonna be like, Why are you here?"
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so yeah, that does make sense in a way. But then also, if you don't talk to anyone, can you really have fun if you just base by yourself? Because then it's just laggy single player, right?
Of course, well, that's why I say that the Care Bear gameplay style is shit. It's like essentially you're just fucking playing single player with fucking lag, dude. Like, why you fucking even playing, dude? That's why I think PvPing is like the thing that Anarchy was made for. If there was no PvP in Anarchy, then nobody would fucking play. And by PvP, I mean like any player versus player activity. It's like
Hmm.
blowing bases up, you know. Like if there was no PvP, there would be no risk of you losing your base, and then you're just playing single player with lag, essentially, you know.
Yeah, it's
So
kind of like the PvE servers, I guess, where the
yeah,
only your
yeah,
only threat is the environment. But like you said, it's not just fighting with the whole PvP. It's person versus person, player versus player.
yeah,
So
yeah,
whether it's kind of the 4D chess that you're playing, where you're not necessarily laying a finger on them, but you are tricking two people into giving you the information that you want, that can definitely still be, that's definitely still PvP.
yeah, yeah.
It's not just the fighting of it. So yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. And I guess kind of for the final kind of point that I want to ask you about, because you are very well known for obviously PvP. You've shown that you're very knowledgeable in this podcast, the things that you've spoken about. Have you seen the news of the new Minecraft update where they're releasing snapshots where they want to go back into kind of making PvP better, maybe even going down the esports route with PvP again? What are kind of your feelings of Mojang changing the PvP code again?
Well, I
Have you?
mean, it's certainly gonna be a while before we any servers like in these kind of circles update in the anarchy scene. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's that relevant, but like looking at like Crystal PvP standpoint, like none of the things that Mojang really introduces changes anything. Of course, I think in 1.13 or 14, crystal mechanics got to change. The hitbox got smaller, the explosion radius got smaller, but the damage stayed the same. I don't think we should be in any kind of a position to say what's good and what should Mojang do, because like at the end of the day, it's just like I think there's only like, a few hundred people who anarchy PvP, like with cheats,
Yeah. Yeah.
non-ironically, So it's not that large of an audience, so I don't think we should even have any kind of voice. Like if Mojang decides to delete crystals, then so be it, dude. We'll figure out a new way to fucking blow up each other or whatnot, dude.
Yeah,
Um,
that's very true. People will always find a way to kind of
yeah.
do what they want to do
A lot
on
of
these
people
servers.
don't even like think about the Minecraft updates. Like I don't even know what's in 1.15. I
Mm,
just don't know because like I don't really care because I've just accepted the fact that we're always gonna play in 1.12 unless there's like some major thing. And see, also I'm just taking a break for 13 months here soon next month, so I'm kind of excited. I'm hoping that when I come back, there's gonna be something new because currently PvP has been it's kind of it's blown up in popularity, but it's died down in challenge.
mm.
I don't know if that's just because majority of the players are new or because fucking elite tier is so good, but like either of those things,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's not as fun as it used to be, and there definitely is lacking some challenge, some new things. We really need some new things, but I don't know. I don't think we ever gonna update. I think it's just gonna stay at 1.12. It's a nice stable.
Mm.
Well, I mean stable, but it's a nice version. It's 1.12 mods are like literally super easy to make. Anybody
Yeah.
can do like a client for 1.12, especially in Forge. It is easy.
Yeah, it's the new kind of because I mean 1.8 was a version that a lot of people stayed on because of
Yeah,
PvP
yeah,
as well. 1.12 for sure. I think obviously you're going to have your break now for over a year. I think by the time you come back, some servers will have updated because a lot of admins aren't even considering updating. But I've kind of looked into what would be needed for some servers to update. It's not that much. It,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's a lot of work in the background. It's rewriting some plugins. That's basically it.
yeah.
Like it's just rewriting some plugins from scratch that are not going to be suitable for one above 1.12.
And
But yeah, yeah,
I think I think a lot of people don't kind of even wanna update. They know it's gonna cause new issues, and
mm,
at this point, it's like we've gotten to a point where like 2B2T with this fucking whatever player count, it runs super well. So you don't know what kind of fucking exploits and new shit is gonna come in the new versions. So I think it would be good if anarchy seen as a total would stay in 1.12. But if it's like, I think everybody's kind of jogging along with 2B2T. So if 2B2T updates, then like everybody's gonna update. But if like, let's say for example, Constantium updates, but
yeah,
Constantium and 9B update, but 2B doesn't update, oldfag.org doesn't update, then you essentially have a divide in the community. And
that's
at
true.
that point,
Yeah,
you're not going to be interacting with those players because they're going to be on their own version. If they switch version, it's going to reset their
mm.
keybinds and whatever. Fuck, dude.
A lot of people are probably going to quit as well.
Oh yeah,
People won't
possibly.
be happy. People won't be happy if the servers update now when the other ones haven't.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, that's a
everybody,
good point. That's a really
all the
good point.
servers kind of have to do it at the same time. It's gonna have to be 2B who does that first leap, and then everybody's kind of gonna like get along with it.
Yeah, because all the players really that are joining, 9B, old fag, 4B, that's now back, 6B, whatever it is,
Yeah, yeah,
all the Bs and all the Ts and Constantium, they kind of have to, yeah, follow suit with 2B because the players that we're getting, only getting them, reality, we're only getting them because the queue on 2B, 2T is just too long.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Would you rather wait 12 hours to play 2B2T or play another server like Constantium, which is extremely similar
yeah.
in terms of mechanics with 2B2T?
And also
Most
on
people are
old
going to do that
server.
because it's if they're new players as well, then they don't really care. They probably don't know anyone on any of the
Yeah, yeah,
servers. They
yeah,
don't have a history to uphold. Yeah, sure, 2B2T has a lot more history, but I think a lot of it is kind of overhyped, maybe
oh yeah, like
where it's not like, okay, you've logged in and you've seen the grief base of Asgard 2. It's like, well, you were never part of it, so
yeah, yeah,
you probably are just going to walk there and be like, oh yeah, here's some ruins, and you're not really going to feel anything. I think really the
yeah,
history only means something for the people that used to play before Russia, because they can walk the ruins and they can remember the good times and the bad times they had
yeah, yeah, yeah,
in those
totally.
bases.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like it doesn't matter if you're there in game or watch a YouTube video about the ruins. Like you're not gonna feel any kind of a different like feeling towards it. It's you're just looking at pixels from a screen. But if you're a player who was there, then it's totally a different feeling. Yeah, totally. I often do visit Unity 2 site, just to like sit there and like, yeah,
Yeah,
it was a great time had here. But other players go there, and it's like, oh, there's a bunch of obsidian there, and
yeah.
there's some wood. Okay, whatever. It's like it's no different. It doesn't even matter if you're there. Also, like I wanna interject a point for anybody who thinks about going to the world border. If you go to the world border, you're a fucking cunt, dude. You're honestly a
Oh, buddy.
stupid cunt, dude. I fucking hate these people who go to the world border and post it. You could honestly post a picture of a fucking blue wall and it's like, oh, 100 upvotes. You held W for 100 hours, dude. Wow. You're so cool. What are you gonna do with that blue wall now, huh? You can TP there in single player Minecraft. It's gonna be the same. It's no different. There's nothing unique about it. It's like I hate Burnsy because he made this thing like a fucking big thing because it's like, oh, let's dig a tunnel to see a fucking moving blue wall. Well, there
I
it
think
is. What do you wanna do? Yeah,
I
it's
think
there.
if you
Yeah, yep.
I think if you're the one that digs it, I think that's pretty cool because you've spent the time digging somewhere that no one's ever been, and it's like the first time it's been done. But yeah, I kind of agree with just traveling there.
Yeah,
Um,
and another thing is map
yeah.
art, dude. Like
Oh, here we
all
go.
these all these fucking map artists, dude. You're not a fucking artist if you make map art. You're pasting images from online. Even like I'm like giving flag to Astroki about this fucking Israel flag. It's like, put the fucking candle in the Israel flag. This it's 100% original. I'm like, did you design the candle? No. Did you design the flag? No. Well, it's not. It's 0% original. Then didn't
Mm.
design anything here. You just put two things together. Oh, it's original now. Let me buy an iPhone and switch the screen to a fucking Samsung phone. It's an original fucking product now. Look at this phone I made, guys. Look at this phone. No, dude, you're just pasting images from online for fucking
Mm,
Reddit
mm.
karma. And most of these people who do it are like literally like plagiarizing it to the point where they're not even giving credit to the original person who made it. It's like fucking X-Ray Dog, like the biggest retard ever, dude. Do you fucking post about like some fucking anime? And it's like everybody's like, oh, such good map art. I'm like, well, I mean, the original drawing is good, but that's just like a fucking low fucking resolution version of it. I can resize the fucking image again, dude. Like, you want to see it, dude?
Mm,
Like,
mm.
here it is. Wow, these pixels, dude. Wow, super cool. 500 upvotes on the Reddit. Thanks, dude.
Mm.
Thanks.
And I don't know if you've heard, but there was the whole issue with rotations and things like that.
Oh yeah, dude.
With like crystal PvPing or whatnot, your client will rotate for you, but the anti cheat was picking it out, blah blah blah. Well, I don't know if you know, but this week I think that actually got fixed.
Well, that's nice, dude.
So
That's nice.
Phantom said in chat that rotations were fixed, and some people in the mapart Discord, which I am a part of, please don't be mad, have been saying that apparently that's made printer work now as well.
Oh yeah, it does make
So
printer work. Yeah.
now it's even easier.
Yeah, yeah,
to
and
make map. You
honestly,
just have to run around now.
yeah, no, no, you don't even have to do that. You just put on baritone,
Oh yeah, yes,
and
yeah. It's
yeah,
true,
just
true.
put on baritone, and you go to fucking bed. You wake up, you got a fucking low resolution version of whatever you're fucking stealing from the internet. You know, it's so stupid when I see it on the Reddit. It makes me fucking like blood boil, and
Mhm.
it wouldn't even bother me that much. But the same people who do the fucking map art of putting on baritone, go to bed, wake up, you got a map art, are the same people who say PvP takes no skill. And that's like the fucking ultimate like disrespect. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna kick in your door, fucking come in your house. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you for that, dude. Like honestly, bro, how can somebody be so stupid? Like they're donuts, dude. Honestly, Jesus Christ, that gets my blood boiling, dude.
Yeah, yeah. Some of my favorite arguments, especially in my Discord, between you and some of the people that you mentioned, who say that PvP has no skill,
I mean, like I
and then you say
understand.
map art has no skill, and it's just
Yeah,
back and forth. It's
I un-
hilarious. It's hilarious. I
I
love it.
I understand the viewpoint of like, oh, you have a client that does anything for you. Okay, but like, then how do you think like, why do you think there's so many good individual performers? Why do you think like, if it's all a client, then why can't you kill me, dude? Like, why can't you do it, dude? If it's all a client, then why can't you do it? I could fucking beat these kids in vanilla at this point, dude. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, yeah. That does make sense.
Especially as a player who really started the well, I don't think I really started. I think it was me and Eclipsen together, but like really started the PvP automation thing.
Hmm.
It's like the ultimate joke of like this map artist telling you that fucking PvP takes no skill. Let me go to bed and wake up in map party. And they posted on the Reddit again like 2 billion upvotes. I'm like, dude, okay, whatever, dude. Go suck your mom, dude.
What I like is talking about the subreddit. I don't know how things get valued on the subreddit because there's some people who have legitimately built like a base with no
Yeah, yeah,
schematics or anything like that. They've spent like a whole year building this base and they get like 7 upvotes. And then someone posts a picture of like a fence post and says, "Oh, I found this at spawn." And it has like
yeah.
325 upvotes.
Somebody
Like,
posted
I
like
don't know how it works. I really
some
don't understand.
somebody posted a picture of this Phantom Captain. It's like a Phantom, like he, I don't know, like you could fucking fake that in like a cracked Minecraft server. Like
Mm.
you could fake that and it's like 100 upvotes. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I don't know, dude. The subreddit is like, I don't even go on there, but like every time I go on there, it's like a new level of the retardation that it is at, dude.
I
It
mean,
is
if
just
it if it makes you feel better, I've just opened up the subreddit, and that picture of Phantom is now at 180 upvotes.
yeah, dude. Very very great, dude.
So yeah, I'm sure that makes you feel good. And there's like videos like but that M4 Vincent, for instance, spent like 30 hours making, and
Yeah.
he has like 40 upvotes.
Yeah, that was like a
Um,
genuinely good video with like
yeah,
effort put into it.
yeah.
It's like at least like give it a fucking watch, dude. But like
Oh, here we
nah,
go.
here's a
Here we go.
here's a screenshot of Phantom Captain upvote.
So there's a post 4 days ago that says the penis at spawn has stood erect for nearly a full year, and it's a picture of like an andesite penis or something like a polished
Is
one
it
of those polished blocks.
is it
Um,
underwater?
no, 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 it's above ground. It's
Oh.
literally just a post of like a penis, a Minecraft penis. 280 upvotes and gold.
Ah, yes. Give me them gold stickers. I want the gold stickers. It kind of made me lose hope for Constantiam as a whole. Just the fucking
I think it's the moderation as well, because not many things get removed. Like there has to be a
dude.
just from the subreddit, whereas with 2B2T, everything gets removed, and
Yeah,
they only
yeah.
leave things that are going to get good upvotes. But
But like, let me
yeah,
tell you,
it's
dude,
funny.
if that you should like, I should be a Reddit moderator. Dude. I'd be the best Reddit moderator ever, dude.
It would be empty.
Dude, the biggest joke was like when somebody reposted a render I did in 2017, got more upvotes than I did back then. Of course, like
No
more
way.
people, but like nobody even gave me credit for it. I had to comment there, like I made this render. Why'd you repost it, you retard? And I think my comment got deleted for like fucking language or some shit, dude. I don't even take it seriously at this point, dude.
I don't know. Maybe you were trolled by the admin. Who knows? But no, that's hilarious. Dot, it's been absolutely wonderful having you on for this and to speak to you.
Yeah, it's been great.
Have a very good break. So you're going to be away for just over a year or so.
Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna be away
In
for.
kind of the meantime, if people want to see your videos, if they want to know more about you, is there somewhere that people can go to watch any videos or
They can They can find my channel by typing in Dot5. Even though it's a break fluid, I think my channel pops up like pretty at the top. And
Okay.
in most of my description, there's a Discord invite for the Elite Tier Discord. And if other Elite Tier members make videos about PvP or whatnot, they'll be posted in the Elite Tier content channel that I have in there. Yeah, that I think that's the best place to keep up with Elite Tier. There's a lot of things happening during this summer, kind of like going full speed currently. Of like just like I guess that's last goodbye to PvP for the break.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna go like full speed, try to just PvP as much as I can for the time being, and then drop it at a high note. You know, if like okay, I did well. I'm gonna see you guys in the fucking year, and I hope all of you have gotten better.
Excellent. No, that sounds really good. So what I'll do is I'll make sure a link to your YouTube channel is in the description. And if you're in there, if you're watching the videos, yeah, join the Elite Tier Discord,
Yeah.
and you can see the cutting edge of Minecraft PvP. Things
Uh,
that have made changes to the way anarchy servers work. It's made changes to the way that PvP and the weapons that are used on 2B2T have worked. So Dot5. This has been episode 4 of the JRP. Thank you very much for your time, and we hope to see you soon.
yeah. See you.